Join me as I interview Mr. Spillman, an Australian author who writes children's books. We are lucky enough that he is visiting India and has decided to spend a few hours at our school. Question, sir?
Of course you can.
Okay. So, what inspired you to start writing children's books?
Well, it's actually quite funny because I was writing other books before that, and they were non-fiction books for adults. And I was writing histories about different parts and things in Australia. And I had children at the time, young children, and I was often reading stories to them. And one of my sons said to me, "You are a writer, why don't you write something interesting?"
Kids like.
Yeah, that he would like, you see. So I thought, well, it's a fair point. They're not really interested in what I'm writing at the moment, and maybe I should try to write something that my children would be interested in. And then I wrote something, and it proved to be quite successful, and I continued to enjoy myself. So that's because I enjoyed it that I continued to write for children.
Okay. Who is your favorite author, sir?
Well, I don't like to talk about having a favourite author because for me it's our responsibility really to keep finding new favourite authors. So I've been finding favourite authors all through my life. I can still remember some of the favourite authors I had when I was a child and some favourite books. I remember I loved the Robin Hood book when I was young. I thought it was so exciting, the way that Robin Hood was trying to do some good in his part of the world and having adventures in the meantime. So I remember all the stories that I read, and I'm still collecting favourite authors. So for me it's not about one, it's about many.
Okay. What made you rewrite Aesop's tales?
Well, do you know, I think those fables still have relevance today, you know, and I think that some of those fables are actually told in very brief form. So I wanted to kind of bring my imagination to those little brief fables, the original ones, and to make them come to life for today's children. And so I thought that would be a worthwhile thing to do because, as you know, fables have a moral to the tale, and those things are as relevant today as they were ever. And so I thought we can make some fun stories here and still deliver the moral of the story. And so I put that idea to Scholastic, which is my largest publisher, and they said, yes, please.
Okay. What message do you give to today's young readers?
Number one is find the books that you love, find the books that you enjoy, because not every book is for every child. So one book that one child loves will not be loved by another child. And if that book if they are made to read that and it is really not the book for them, then I think it's unfortunate because you're just ploughing through something and not enjoying it. I think there's always a book that you will love. It's just a matter of spending a little bit of time to find it, and then to find the next one, and then to find the next one. And yes, to collect favourite authors. So for me, that's the advice I would give, to make it enjoyable. Because when you enjoy something, you do it willingly more often. And when you do something willingly more often,
Not you.
then you will also become better at it. And when you become good at something, then of course it's easy for you to read something more advanced.
Okay. The interview is completed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Ina.
That was like
He
really
reads,
nice.
you read Aesop tales, right?
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
they all have animals that talk to each other, and they always have a moral to the story.
Yeah.
And you know, when we read stories about animals, we interpret them as people. We see them as people. We see that their actions are actually what we would think that people are doing. So when we're looking at them, yes, they are an animal, but we think, oh, you're really a person. You're behaving like a person would act.
Thank you.